exciting and new.
It is exciting and it is new. At least love that's exciting and new. There's all kind of different love. Probably thousands and thousands of variations of love, but love that is exciting and new is exciting and new. All right, the Love Boat's coming your way next. I'm Gopher. What drink can I get you?
Back to you.
I'm actually the captain of the ship. I was doing the Mary Tyler Moore show. Now I'm the captain of the Love Boat. Corey Johnson with on a weird Tuesday afternoon, not because of that introduction with the Love Boat, just some strange weather for late November, early December. I mean, we're at December 1st on Thursday. In about 36 hours or so, we'll be in December. And it's like 77 degrees, literally like 77 outside. It's dripping wet. If you have one of those smooth carports, let's go to Lakeview. Let's go into the carport with the smooth concrete. It's wet. You'll slip on your rear end. Be careful. It might even have puddles. 84% humidity. Welcome to the shower. Feels like 82, 83 degrees right now, but it's cloudy. And we're expecting overnight showers, a little rain hitting the metro. Just some strange weather for late November, early December. Feels like low 80s. Crazy. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. I got to pop open this Colt 45 brand malt liquor. I forgot. That's water. I don't drink Colt 45 brand malt liquor. What was I thinking? Anyway, you go to a Pelicans game. You pay to park in a lighted lot. You come back and the glass of your car windows broken in, as are a bunch of other cars parked in the private lot that you paid to park in that is lighted. I mean, really? I just don't. I don't get it. I guess any event at the Superdome, any event at the New Orleans Arena, any event at like the Sanger, those entities, the New Orleans Arena, the Superdome, the Sanger, whatever it might be, I guess they're going to have to hire, private security. I don't know about you. I mean, I don't like, these lawsuit, kind of that mentality, these lawyers pushing that. It almost makes you want to sue the private lot that you paid, to at least get your car window fixed and that type of stuff. But it's just not even worth it. It's just a big nightmare. It's just a big pain. It beyond ruins the night, ruins the evening. If it rains and you don't have a carport, where are you putting the vehicle, that kind of stuff. Now, I swear, New Orleans is getting to the point where it's like saying, please don't come here. And for some folks that don't have a tolerance for that type of city behavior, almost any city anywhere, no, they're running from it. 4 carjackings in 6 hours, all today. 4 carjackings in 6 hours, all today. All right, there is some good news. USA beats Iran in the World Cup, and Willie Fritz is staying on Willow Street. Huge news for Tulane. It's like they've rehired a winning coach. Let's head to the phone lines. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480, 504-766-9480. We head to Kennebra, where they land some rather large aircraft at a Superior facility. Bob joins us in Kenna. What up, Bob?
Corey, how you doing?
Spell it forward, spell it backwards. It comes up Bob.
You got it. Look, I tried to call in yesterday about the Fritz situation. I'm glad he's staying. I'm glad Georgia Tech came to their senses and didn't hire a guy at retirement age. I think that's what happened. I think the big donors at Georgia Tech said, we want a young guy. But anyway, I'm glad he's here. I want to run something by you.
I think that's part of it for sure, a little bit.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. The playoffs are going to expand to 12 teams in a couple of years. Is that correct?
Yeah, 24, I believe. Yep.
Okay. So if you win your conference, what I understand, you'll be included in the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess it's the Power 5 champions, and then it's some extra Power 5s, and then it's some other teams, a couple of independents.
Okay. My reason for saying that
or lesser conferences, I should say.
Right,
yeah.
right. You know, with Houston, Cincinnati, and Central Florida bolting to the Big 12, there's no reason that Tulane can't be in contention for that conference title every year.
No, I agree with that. I think with that conference title, you better be 12-0 or 11-1. 10-2, you might not make the 12-team playoff. Maybe you do. It just depends on how many 1-loss and 2-loss teams you have and their strength of schedule and all that kind of stuff. But no, you're right. I mean, they're doing it right now with those teams in the conference, Bob.
Well, that's my point. He's got a better chance of making the playoffs at Tulane than at Georgia Tech because he's got to play Georgia, North Carolina.
Oh, no,
Wake
Bob, we
Forest,
could take the
Bourbon
yellow
St.
legal sheet. We can take the yellow legal sheet, draw a line down the middle, and pros and cons. I said yesterday, I think it's an 80-90% shot that Fritz is probably going to Georgia Tech because I believe that's who Georgia Tech had most of their focus on. But I also said, there's dysfunction going on. I compared it to LSU and politics and boosters with money, and some want to retain the existing interim coach. Some want to go in another direction. There's another coach or two, and then some want Fritz. But there was age. Has a losing record at Tulane. He's too old. He's going to change the system. We're starting over again. They're all kind of, folks that were against it at Georgia Tech. I think the majority of folks were for it. I think Georgia Tech could have pulled off the hire. There was a protest, like students protesting the potential hiring of Willie Fritz, and a lot of internet chatter from numbskulls. I mean, social media, like a kazoo, anyone can play. But I think it ultimately came down to a lot of pressure and dysfunction at Georgia Tech where, they kind of went with that selection. I don't know how that coach is going to turn out to be, but I can promise you this, Willie Fritz, why would he not win at Georgia Tech? He's won everywhere else he's gone. He took Tulane, a team that had nothing, nothing, and built him into a team that upset a Power 5 that wins on Saturday at home. They go to the Cotton Bowl. They're 11-2. They'll be like 12th in the country. That's he's done it in like 5 different places. He'd do it at Georgia Tech. So they had a guarantee with Fritz, and they chose to go in another direction. But they weren't as convinced as I am that it's a guarantee, maybe. A lot of folks didn't think it was a guarantee.
I mean, by the time he puts his own plan in and plays the coaches, the guy's going to be, 67, 68
He's
years
60,
old.
but Willie Fritz is 62, Bob. He'll be 63, 64. It'll be rolling along. 64 is, Nick Saban's 71. Brian Kelly at LSU is 61. So he's not too old.
I just think he would have a hard time. Whoever takes the job is going to have a hard time with Georgia, all those teams. When's the last time Georgia Tech was relevant? I don't remember.
Oh no, you're right. There wasn't a lot of times that Georgia Tech has been relevant. You're right.
All right. Well, I'm glad he's staying, and I firmly believe that we're going to beat UCF because I think the coaches have a plan this time to stop that quarterback if he plays. And it's just great that we can put all this crap behind us now, move on.
Right. You're right, Bob. You're right. Thanks for the call, and Kenner. I think it's a huge day for Tulane retaining Willie Fritz. That was a close call. I think it was like that close. If you're listening on the radio, my thumb and forefinger are very close together. No, thank goodness. 50 years ago today, the Rault Center fire. I was a tot. It's 50 years ago, 1972. I was just a little kid. 15th floor fire, no sprinkler systems, a beauty salon, women jumping out of the window. And I'm watching that on TV. I mean, that's traumatic for a 6-year-old to see. What's that lady in curlers doing leaping out of the window with all the smoke, landing on the parking lot garage 10 stories or so below? She couldn't have lived from that, right? I'm watching this live. I'm watching this on replay or whatever. Anyway, 50 years ago today, the Rault Center fire. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore and Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, local size. NOLAAC.com, local size.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
As New Orleans as the mighty Mississippi, Corey Johnson.
The old miss, the old man.
On 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Deep River, my home is over Jordan.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you on radio. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. 93.9. New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. 107.9. We're on TV till 5:30. Radio, internet, YouTube till 6. 2 big hours. 90 minutes of fun on the television set. Cox Channel 4, Yorview, Louisiana, all over the state. 4 to 5:30, Cox Channel 4 TV. You charter television subscribers in Louisiana, Spectrum Channel 333, 4 to 5:30. CoreyTalks.com. I mentioned live streaming. CoreyTalks.com. You can link up to our YouTube page there. Or go straight to YouTube, go to the search bar, Corey Johnson Neutral Ground. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. A lot to discuss on this Tuesday afternoon. Hey, Latrim is hiring, by the way. Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, an incredible company. If we had 10, 12 Latrims, we'd be Austin, Texas, or Nashville, Tennessee. Blessed to have Latrim. J.M. LePere came up with the shrimp peeling machine that led to the all-plastic modular conveyor belt. These two items and many more, hundreds of worldwide patents from Latrim. These two items specifically, industry leaders around the world still to this day, constantly being upgraded, improved, new innovations, new ideas, how to utilize it, make it work better. Shrimp peeling machine, still number one on planet Earth. The Latrim shrimp peeling machine, and Intralocks, all plastic modular conveyor belts. Number one in the world, New Orleans born, bred, based company with thousands of employees, and they are looking for more. Dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs available. East Bankers, West Bankers, Latrim's hiring at their Elmwood facility. Over 80 acres in Elmwood. North Shore folks down the I-12 in Hammond. Latrim's hiring at their Hammond facility. For a full listing of positions available, go to latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, latrim.com. You are on the neutral ground each and every day, telling it like it is, producing the other folks' radio programs that they'll do next week, next month, doing it today, every day. 50 years ago today, that Rault Center fire, traumatic, that I believe 15th floor beauty parlor, women jumping to their death. I'll tell you what, that late 72 into 73, 47 New Orleans folks, almost 50 New Orleans folks dying in very violent ways, and not just like, some kind of armed robbery. Mass killings. 3 different ones. It started with that Rault fire. 6 people die, 5 that jumped, 1 from smoke inhalation, 5 that leapt to their death. I got a little $50 Woodhouse Day Spa trivia question for you, or 2, or maybe 3, including a green wave-oriented one. Willie Fritz staying in Uptown. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Woodhouse Day Spa, 4 area locations, Canal Street, at Carrollton. Guys, it's holiday season. It's Christmas time. You don't stress out. I mean, I'm going to solve your problem. What do I get her? Is she going to like it? You get her a day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Is she going to like it? She's going to love it. It's what she wants. I may not know much. I'm right about this. 4 locations, Canal Street at Carrollton in Mid-City. They're in Metairie near North Kenner, Transcontinental at West Esplanade. They're on the North Shore. Slidell, I-10 at Gauze. The Mandeville North Shore location opening early next year. And Baton Rouge, open right now by the Mall of Louisiana. Find out more, NOLA.woodhousespas.com. A month after that Rault Center fire, That was in November, late November, 50 years ago, November 29th, 50 years ago today. A month later, end of the year, another major tragedy in New Orleans. Not far from the Rault Center, less than a mile away, involving another high-rise building. Give me the answer of that tragedy. And I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 6 months after that, 32 people die, 15 injured in another tragedy. Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 4 locations, Mandeville coming online early next year. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, I got a Green Wave question for you. I'm going to say in the last 50 years, Tulane has had 3 coaches that have won, I'm going to guess around 8-9 games, and then left for greener pastures, used Tulane as a stepping stone, went on to a bigger program. I think it's 3 in the last 50 years. So anytime Tulane's had a little bit of success, like they're having right now with Willie Fritz, at least the last 3 times that I can remember they've had some sort of semblance to this kind of success, the coach was gone the very next year. About 8-9 wins, and then gone to a bigger program. Name me the 3 coaches in the last 50 years that have left Tulane after winning for a year or 2, going to greener pastures, going to a bigger program, using the Green Wave as a stepping stone. Thought it could have happened with Willie Fritz going to Georgia Tech, Power 5, ACC, Atlanta, on and on and on and on. Instead, Willie Fritz staying put. We had him live on the program yesterday discussing this very topic. You can check that out on YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. Wherever you get your jam. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. 766-9480. I make myself laugh. You go to a Pelicans game, you park in a lighted lot, it's a pay lot. You come back and your windows are blown out and some losers broke into a bunch of cars. This is ridiculous. This can't happen. I think Pelicans, Saints, New Orleans Arena, or Smoothie King Center, concerts, Superdome, concerts, Bayou Classic, whatever, Sanger with any kind of event. I don't know. You're going to have to hire 10, 20 cops, charge $1 more a ticket, call it security. You know, Smoothie King Center, you have 18,000 people show up. You got $18,000 to spend on security. You think it's going to be a concert that's 6,000 show up, but you need $12,000 in security? Charge $2 security charge. I don't know what to tell you. But in the city of New Orleans, it's kind of like New York. They have all these charges. Maybe in the French Quarter, city of New Orleans, we're going to have charges so we can hire private security to keep these total jerk loser criminals away from driving people that spend money away from the city. Now, this kind of crap makes you want to run. From New Orleans. Makes tourists and conventioneers want to run. I'm driving down Convention Center Boulevard the other night. The new street, which I'm lukewarm on. 1 lane in each direction is a pain in my rear end. That was one major screw up. It was 2 lanes in each direction with a neutral ground. Could have done your sidewalk, your fountains, all that crap you did, and had 2 lanes in each direction. It's a mess. It's a overthink, underthink, whatever. I don't like it. That's my opinion. I'm a native New Orleanian. You go traverse the street. It sucks with the traffic thing. It's beautiful. It's an improvement that way. It's great for conventioneers. I like that part, but I think they could have kept 2 lanes in each direction. But anyway, I'm driving down that street and I'm thinking, I'm seeing bums sitting on the street. I see trash and litter. It's dusk. I'm heading down to Canal Place to run into a store real quick. Just, I don't know. It kind of makes me a little nervous for the city. I know the city. I know where to go and what to avoid. Tourists don't. And when it happens in the tourist areas, 4 carjackings in 6 hours today. Wow. New Orleans arrests, the NOPD arrests the teen accused in the shooting of 5 on Bourbon Street. That's ground zero for the tourists. Let's head to the best bank, Orleans Parish, Algiers, home of Lakewood Golf Club that I frequent. Also English Turn. What's up, Beth?
Oh, just watching you, Corey.
Yeah, you right. Checking it out, making the husband jealous.
Yeah. I'd like to answer your question about what happened after the 30 days after the fire.
Yeah.
Was it the Howard Johnson downtown sniper incident?
Mark Essex, huh? Went on a rampage for like a week.
Yes.
Killed
I think
9.
A high-ranking official with the New Orleans Police Department was shot to death.
Now who? What were you saying?
He was I can't remember his
no,
name.
there were 5 policemen shot and killed. 5 killed, 4 others killed, 12 injured or wounded, Beth. Absolutely
my gosh.
crazy.
I was
Beth,
only
you are
13
correct,
at
by the way.
time.
Yeah, you're right.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
You are correct. What were you
Thank
saying,
you.
Beth?
I'm sorry, did you say something?
No, what were you saying? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything.
All right. Well, then you hang on, all right? Because you're correct. And you're going to the Woodhouse Day Spa. Yeah, Mark Essex and the Howard Johnson shooting.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Roll call.
Arabi, Chalmette, Violet, Lafitte, New Orleans East, Slidell, Mandeville, Covington, Hammond, Homa, Thibodaux. We got you covered.
Yeah, you right. Tuesday afternoon, Corey Johnson back at you with some strange weather out there, that's for sure. 77, 78 degrees, 80+% humidity. Feels like mid-80s. December 1st is Thursday. Thanksgiving was last week. Christmas is coming up. This is insane. Cloudy, rain expected overnight. You go to a Pels game, pay to park in a lighted lot. You come out after the game and your window's busted outside, door window, and some clown rabbit, went through the vehicle. A bunch of cars are like that. It's beyond disheartening. It makes you say, screw it. I don't want to come to the city anymore. I'm not going to come at night. I'm not going to go to a Pelicans game or a Saints game because these jerks that are brazen as hell and just don't care. I'm driving around yesterday. You can say whatever you want. This is the problem in New Orleans. Dude, it's Thanksgiving weekend. Dude, it's Bayou Classic. Dude, it's Super Sunday. Four-wheelers tooling around the city. You know what I can say? Dude, did you see Claiborne and MLK and Felicity and Jackson Avenue yesterday? Filthy. Does anyone pick up their trash? Dude, did you see Xavier, Washington Avenue by Carrollton? Dude, did you see Earhart in between Doc Francis and Carrollton? Does anyone pick up their trash? Just a bunch of insane New Orleanians and people from out of town that are joining the New Orleans. Hey, no one gives a crap. Just throw all your stuff on the ground. We're partying. Four-wheelers. It's cool. Doesn't matter. They're breaking the law. Hey, Earhart, Carrollton, Washington Avenue, basically shut down. We've taken over the street. You can't drive down. It's sorry. It's insane. Just this crazy mentality. No police, no permits, no nothing. Just take it all over. And dude, it's Bayou Classic. It's Super Sunday, Thanksgiving weekend. Dude, you don't understand New Orleans culture. No, I don't understand New Orleans culture. Only been here 5 decades, only a native New Orleanian. No, this kind of ridiculous attitude. Everyone wants to party and have a good time. We've got all that covered. Drive-through daiquiri shops, to-go cups. We party. We know how to do the festivals. Four-wheelers, just this total abuse. If you're accepting that, then you're accepting cars getting broken into at the Pelicans game, and you're accepting coming out of your French Quarter restaurant and the car broken into, or a mugging, or 5 people shot on Bourbon Street. 4 carjackings in 6 hours today. A little after midnight, 3400 block of Esplanade. That's almost to Bayou St. John. That's by Cabrini High School. Carjacking right there. About an hour and a half later, Tchoupitoulas at Bordeaux. That's right by F&M's. That's right by Hanson Snow Blizz. on Tchoupitoulas, a few blocks off Napoleon towards Jefferson. About 3 hours after that, 1,000 block of North Peters. You know what that is? That's the French Market. That's a block from the, Joan of Arc statue in the Quarter. And about 30 minutes an hour after that, 700 block of South Cortez. That's Tulane Avenue between Carrollton and Doc Francis Parkway. Kind of right in the middle. In between Doc Francis and Carrollton on Tulane and Cortez. So you basically got, Esplanade Ridge, kind of mid-city-ish, then Uptown, then French Quarter, then back to mid-city. I don't know if it's same, different. It's brazen. It's ridiculous. And I've said this. I tweeted it just yesterday. I say this all the time on the show. Citizens are armed, and they know how to use their guns. And some criminal who's probably 15, 18, 22, 25 is going to catch a bunch in the chest from some housewife. And their blood, that punk kid's blood, is going to be on the hands of the mayor, the city council, the police. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's violent crime. It is brazen crime. It's crime that drives people away from the city. New Orleans isn't the city that forgot. New Orleans is the city that forgot to care. Hey, welcome to New Orleans, where we don't give a blank. I remember Vegas when they were just tourism and no growth. They were, Vegas, wouldn't want to live there. Love to visit, wouldn't want to live there. That's New Orleans. Like to visit, not even love anymore because it's dangerous. Like to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. And you folks that live in Metairie or the North Shore, like you've solved some problem. Geesh, if I'm leaving New Orleans, I'm leaving the state of Louisiana. I'm not going to Dysfunction Junior, Metairie, Dysfunction the Third, the North Shore. Come on, really? And I don't know the satisfaction you get, dude, Jefferson's a lot better than Orleans. Oh, yeah, welcome to the suburbs. It better be. How is Jefferson compared to other North American city suburbs? Doesn't compare too well. North Shore folks, exurbs. Great. We're doing better than the South Shore. Oh, great barometer you're using. How do you compare to other metro areas, exurbs? Yeah, don't match up too well, do you? Yeah, I'm thinking about what Corey's saying. My friends that live in Katy outside of Houston, yeah, it's not as nice here. Yeah, my friends that live outside of Atlanta and that up to 400, yeah, not as nice here. That Country Club of Georgia, I don't think it's as nice as Beauchene. Or Beauchene's not as nice as Country Club of Georgia. You get my drift. No, Metairie nicer than New Orleans? Not nicer, is safer, a little cleaner. Yeah, North Shore a little safer, a little cleaner than South Shore. Sure, that's apples to oranges. It's the inner city New Orleans. It better be, but apples to apples, Jefferson and the North Shore don't fare too well versus other metro areas. They're suburbs and exurbs. No, it's just disheartening, man. I see this on Twitter. This dude just. Pelican fan, love going to the Pelicans games. Car windows blown out. He's like, didn't even have anything in my car. Just now makes that dude say, I don't want to go to any more Pelican games. That's just pathetic. 4 carjackings in 6 hours today. 4 carjackings in 6 hours. You got to laugh. The NOPD arrest a teen accused in the shooting of 5 on Bourbon Street. 3 men and 2 women. Nice. That first block of Bourbon, right off Canal, right by Iberville. World Cup soccer, USA 1, Iran 0. America to the knockout round, Sweet 16, Netherlands, Saturday morning, 9 a.m. We were the runner-up, USA, in, I think, Group B. The Netherlands won their group. So, big underdog Saturday morning. Tomorrow night, back at the Smoothie King Center, 7 p.m. Watch where you park, or we need boosted security. 11-9 Toronto, 12-8 Pelicans. Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock's pretty cool. Carpal tunnel syndrome city. 3 o'clock kickoff. Number 11 LSU. Number 1 Georgia. Bulldogs favored by a gaudy 17.5. It's the SEC title game from Atlanta. Nationwide audience, CBS. Same time, number 18 Tulane, a 3.5-point favorite over at number 22 Central Florida. American Athletic title game, Uptown New Orleans, national TV audience, ABC. Pretty cool. Hey, I mentioned 50 years ago today that Rault Center fire. A month later, more death and despair. And we got a correct answer on that from Beth in Metairie, the Howard Johnson's Mark Essex sniper shooting. 6 months later, 32 die. More death. What was that one? Oh, I'm looking at the clock, Jason, thinking it's 48. It's 46. A couple of minutes early on that break. That's good because I wanted to throw out the Rouse's Market phone number anyway. 766-9480. 504-766-9480. The 6 looks like an 8. My eyesight. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. GQ is on fire, by the way, on the North Shore. He's nailing a bunch of our $50 Woodhouse Day Spa trivia questions. He does it via email, Corey@CoreyTalks.com. Corey@CoreyTalks.com. GQ is showing off his large brain via email. I don't even want the gift card. Just showing you what I know. I'll be back tomorrow with more answers. Anyway, GQ nailing it. He's won a $50 gift card in the last 6 months. He'll be eligible 6 months and a day later, and he'll win that day. He always nails our trivia, old GQ on the North Shore. He also sends me emails. He loves Sal and Sam's. Here's my leftovers. Here's me at Sal and Sam's. Here's my leftovers from Sal and Sam's. It'll be some piece of veal with a bunch of crab meat that he's nuking in the microwave or heating up in a skillet or something. I'm like, that's a good email, making me hungry. So many good restaurants on the North Shore. There are more good restaurants on the North Shore in Mandeville and Covington than all of Jefferson Parish, I would say. Good job, GQ. 766-9480. 766-9480. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home. Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region, with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
You know, if it's a weekday afternoon in New Orleans, it's got to be Corey Johnson.
You know, moving like a gator down Bourbon Street.
The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
You put Paris in a swamp, and that's New Orleans in a nutshell, baby.
I was just telling Jason, I was like, I don't know if I like that Saturday Night Live skit. I don't know. I like it like as a Saturday Night Live skit. I don't know if I like being attached to it because it's just so not New Orleans. And I don't think if you get the Saturday Night Live skit, you're like, I don't know. I don't like the mosquito and the sachet thing, Jason. What do I know, bro? Anyway, Corey Johnson with you. Jason's our producer. He does a great job, puts together all these bits. He's throwing all the stuff together. About 99% of the time I like it, and sometimes I don't. And, that's just how it is. And then there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like Jason brought me strawberry ice cream one day. I'm like, I ate it all up. The next day brought me Rocky Road. I ate it all up. The next day brought me butter pecan. I'm like, dude. He's like, what? So it's not like there's any logic to it. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. I do have some trivia for you and a little Tulane trivia. I want to say it's 3 coaches that have won 8 or 9 games, and then beelined off Willow Street, took another job, I guess arguably a bigger, better job. 3 coaches in the last 50 years. Willie Fritz was about to be the 4th, heading to Atlanta, Georgia Tech. Doesn't appear to be the case. Georgia Tech keeping their interim head coach apparently as the full-time coach now, promoting him, and Willie Fritz staying uptown on Tulane. In the last 50 years, Tulane has had 3 coaches, I believe, that have left for, I don't know what you want to say, greener pastures. They won about 8 or 9 games, had some success, and then left. 3 coaches, I believe. Name those 3 Green Wave coaches, and I've got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-98480. Hey, 50 years ago today, that Rault Center fire, that Rault Center sat empty for about the last, I don't know, up until about 4 years ago, for about 20, 30 years, just empty, abandoned. Now it's been converted into a new, kind of eclectic, one of those kind of artsy hotels for the youngsters. Anyway, I love that. It's great that they reconverted that building into something useful. 50 years ago today, that Rault Center fire, this was like pre-sprinklers in like high-rise buildings. There was a beauty salon like on the 15th floor. The women were jumping from the window. I'm like 6 years old watching this on TV. Traumatic. So 50 years ago today, November 29, 1972, the Rault fire. 15th floor beauty salon, 6 die, 1 from smoke inhalation, 5 jumping to like the parking lot pad like 10 stories below. Sickening. About a month later, another major criminal murderous rampage. This was, and I guess there's no crime in the Rault Center fire except no sprinkler system, but it was a fire, not a person. A month later, the Howard Johnson sniper, Mark Essex, that shooting. 9 killed, 12 injured, many of them shot, 5 police killed, and 4 others. About 6 months after that, 32 people die, 15 injured. In like a 6-month period in New Orleans, 47 folks die from the Rault Center fire, from the Howard Johnson sniper, and then the worst one of all, 32 deaths, 15 injured. 6 months later, the summer of 1973. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. We head to Tiger Town, Baton Rouge, where 11th ranked LSU will be in Atlanta on Saturday, taking on number 1 Georgia for the SEC title. Brian Kelly, just a magical season. Paul's in Tiger Town. What's happening, Paul?
I've got the answer to the Tulane question.
You do? You're a Tulane fan in Tiger Town?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Are you a displaced, misplaced New Orleanian post-Katrina?
No, I'm a Baton Rouge native. My father was a big Tulane fan.
Nice, man. Where are you calling from in BR? What neighborhood, Paul? Or area of town?
Southeast Baton Rouge.
South, which is what, like around the campus?
Fegan, Highland.
Yeah, nice. That's Highland Road. I mean, arguably from like I-10 to the LSU campus, basically, you could argue that's the nicest road or street in the state.
I think you're right.
I mean, right off I-10, that Country Club of Louisiana to like Blue Bonnet, the curves, the up and down, the undulation. And
yeah, it's a beautiful area.
It really is, Paul. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, all right. Am I right in the last 50 years, it's 3 coaches from Tulane that have left for greener pastures after winning?
I think so. I think it's Jim Pittman. I think it's Mac Brown. I think it's Tommy Bowden.
Jim Pittman?
I think he left to go to TCU.
Really? I'm going to have to look up Jim Pittman. And that's in the last 50 years? Pittman was in the 60s, huh?
Pittman was late 60s, early 70s, I think.
Let's see. Oh, boy. I'm slow on the typing.
And I went to some of those games back in the 70s. Of course, the 73 game I went to.
Let's see. Jim Pittman. Tulane then went to TCU. Let's see what his record was. Yeah, he went 8-4 in 70. So I think that's what propelled him to TCU. Probably right, because they were 5-4-1, 3-7, 2-8, 3-7, and then 8-4 in 1970, and had a win in the Liberty Bowl.
Went to Liberty Bowl.
That's a little more than 50 years ago. Not who I was thinking of, but that, how can I argue with you? I'm going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate, Paul.
Thank you.
Yeah, give it to the wife, the girlfriend, mom, daughter, sister, There's a Woodhouse Day spot in Baton Rouge, Paul, right by the Mall of Louisiana. Paul in Baton Rouge, hang on. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. 5 o'clock powwow coming your way next. A lot more coming your way. 93.9 FM, 107.9 FM, New Orleans. Don't move.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For years, you've been hearing about the virtues of Springfield Wellness Center and their successful treatment of over 1,000 individuals who overcame their substance addiction. Now it's your turn. Here's Springfield's founder, Paula Norris Medier.
Our Brain Restoration Plus Detox Treatment is an intravenous nutritional supplement that restores the brain's chemical imbalances. Our patients detox with minimal withdrawal symptoms. It also blocks the craving, which is unbelievable and which is why most people say they have a hard time believing, but it restores neuron function. Many treatment programs use one drug to get you off of another drug. At Springfield, we treat the problem. Addiction is first a brain disease. If you or a loved one suffer from substance abuse, please just give us a call.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center now, 504-291-2800. That's 291-2800.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them. In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
G.I. Jane 2.
Now
Slap
this
in the
story
face.
All about how my life
Slap
got
in the
turned
face.
upside down, and I'd like to take a minute.
I
just
think
sit
Will
right
Smith
there.
just
I'll
went
tell you
on
how I
with
became the prince of a
Trevor
town called Bel
Noah,
Air.
who is leaving that program. Trevor Noah's leaving. And I think Will Smith went on and was just like, man, I lost it.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised
And then,
on the playground.
you know when you're saying something,
chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting
and,
something.
you know, you go, you know, trying to, you know, tell you, you know, something, you know, and I'm trying to get it out, you know, and it's just not really flowing too well, you know, throwing in a lot of you knows. Will Smith's explanation of what went on. There must have been 20 you knows, so many that Trevor Noah started his next sentence with, you know, and then went in the next question to Will Smith. It's like he got brainwashed, if you know what I'm talking about. Corey Johnson with you Tuesday afternoon, 5 o'clock, power hour. Yeah, you right. Thanks for checking us out on the radio. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. Thanks for checking us out on the television set till 5:30. Cox Channel 4 TV, Spectrum Channel 333 television, all over Louisiana. CoreyTalks.com, live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. We're on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. You know, my mommy is calling me literally right now, Jason, but honestly, I don't think my mom's like thinking, he's on the air right now. Just, she might now be going, oh, wait, he's not answering. He's on the air. Anyway, I'll call you back in 13 minutes, Mommy. Less than that. In about 9 minutes when we take our 16 after the hour break. You know, I always talk about how we don't screen calls. We don't cut you off. The only time we cut you off was when that break train bees are rolling down the tracks. Top of the hour, of course. Straight up top of the hour, but also at 16 after, at 32 after, and at 48. There's just no way around it. No way around it. Voice message. Let's see if I get a transcription. No transcription yet. And it's 22 seconds. Where's my transcription? What the hell? Anyway, Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. 50 years ago today, the Rault Center fire. 6 people died. A month later, Howard Johnson, Mark Essex, sniper shooting, 9 people died. 12 injured. 6 months after that, 32 people die, 15 injured. No, Rault Center fire, November 29th, 1972, 50 years ago today. A month later, for like a week, Mark Essex running wild through the city, December 31st of 72, through the new year, January 7th of 73. And then the summer, June of 73, 32 people die, 15 injured. That's 47 New Orleans folks dead in 6 months from Rault Center fire, Mark Essex, and my final question. What happened 6 months later in June of 73 where 32 died, 15 injured? Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Love to hear from you. Hey, Tulane fans, in the last 50 years, 3 coaches. Sam Pittman was 1970, so that's 53 years ago. I still tightened up our guy in Baton Rouge with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Paul and BR. He said Sam Pittman's 53 years ago. I'm not going to be a stickler. He had 2 of the other 3. If you've got that other one, I've got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. You know, there are over 60 Rouse's Markets. Over 60 Rouse's, and they've been at it for over 60 years. It's New Orleans grocery store, over 20 Rouse's in the metro area. A third of all Rouse's are in metro New Orleans. Plus they're number 1 like in Lafayette, Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, Mobile, Alabama, half dozen Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home, best quality, best price, best selection. Don't forget about those super high quality, super priced right Rouse's labeled items. Rouse's Markets tastes like home. Corey Johnson with you. Right back to the phone lines we go. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Bob joins us in Kenner, brah.
I'm sorry to call you back.
Oh, wait, it's Bob from Kenner again? No, Bob, we can't do 2 calls in the same day. Jason should know better, but Jason's drinking this afternoon. I'm sorry, Bob. I don't mean to be a, stickler. But those are the rules and regulations, one of the few we follow. Yeah, Bob, I get emails going, Corey, enough of you. Don't want to hear you twice, Bob, the callers. They're like, we don't want to hear that, Bob and Kenner, twice. You could have called as Robert and put some, big old blob of peanut butter in your mouth. Hey, Bob and St. Bernard. You could have, no, I've been uptown. You could have changed your voice or something. Roberto. Anyway, Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. No, I apologize, Bob, but yeah, 1 call a show a week, whatever. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Hey, dude, don't mean to bother you. I'm calling back again. 766-9480. Yeah, the summer of 73, 6 months after Mark Essex shot up the city. A month before that, the Rault Center fire. That's a lot of trauma. That's almost 50 deaths in 6 months in the early 70s in New Orleans. 32 people died, 15 injured, summer of 73. What was the incident? Similar to one we mentioned a little while earlier, although criminal in intent. The other one we mentioned wasn't criminal intent. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 766-9480. 766-9480. You got the answer. I got 50 big bucks just in time for the holidays. What she wants, guys, a day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. That's a no-brainer. What do I get her? Is she going to like it? You get her a day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Is she going to like it? She's going to love it. It's what she wants. NOLA.woodhousespas.com to find out more. Hey, if you give me the 3 Tulane football coaches in the last 50 years, 3 that won about 8 or 9 games and then went on to greener pastures, a bigger program, name the 3. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Willie Fritz is not in that number. Willie Fritz is not leaving for Georgia Tech. I don't know if another school is going to come calling in the next few days. I think there is a rush to beat Monday's transfer portal opening. You want to get things set by then because players are going to jump from one team or another. You want stability in your team, so you keep the players that are there, and you can bring in new players because you're set, that kind of thing. Willie Fritz says he's staying at Tulane. Tulane talking to Fritz. Fritz releasing a statement. I'm guessing, with all the incentives, I think Willie Fritz makes about $1.9 million. He's going to pull in another like $500,000 in incentives, especially if he wins Saturday. Probably earn about $2.5 million. He's probably going to have incentives and the like where he can earn about $3.5 million. I'm assuming his $1.9 million salary is going up about $500,000 to around 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 million annually. And then the incentives, instead of maybe $500,000, it might be $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 in incentives. Maybe Willie Fritz, if he knocks it out the park, he can earn $3.5, $4 million at Tulane. Maybe more NIL money, maybe more money for facilities or whatever. Looks like Willie Fritz is sticking around. That is, I think Jeff Duncan's tweeted, it can't be overstated. It can't be. Tulane's got a winning football program. They're on national television a few times a year. They're a winning program. They've got a winning coach. It is key they keep him.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro. New Orleans talk giant Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
I'll have the entire city of New Orleans.
Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon, a weird weather day. Thursday, it'll be December. Late November, heading into December, and it's 78 degrees. It's like 85% humidity. Feels like 85 degrees, just crazy. Cloudy, just sort of nasty outside, wet, kind of dank feeling. Supposed to get some overnight showers, which I guess we need, even though we got some rain last week. We could use more, I'm sure, because of that drought-like situation. You go to a Pelicans game, you pay to park at a private lot, a pay lot. It's lighted. You come back out after the game's over with and your car is broken into, as are a bunch of other cars in that lot. That just can't happen. That can't happen. It is a regular occurrence. The percentage of that happening is way too high. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's supposed to be like 0.0000 something, and instead it's a percentage. It's like 5%. 8% chance, 1 out of 12 your car will get broken into, 1 out of 20. I don't know what it is, but it is an insanely high percentage that is off the charts compared to other cities. And it's just crappy, these brazen criminals. You go to a Pelican games, you park your car in a lighted lot, it's a pay lot, and you come back and your car's broken into, as are like 20 other cars. I mean, it's just sickening. It really is. 4 carjackings in 6 hours today. 4 carjackings in 6 hours today. Esplanade Ridge near Mid-City, Uptown, French Quarter by the French Market, and then Mid-City. Pathetic. 4 carjackings in 6 hours today. The NOPD arrests a teen accused of that shooting 5 on Bourbon Street. I mean, that's a whole other story. It's America. Do whatever you want. What's a teen doing on Bourbon Street? Drinking age is 21. Bourbon Street is a toilet, a gutter. Who wants to be down there anyway? 5 shot on Bourbon Street. 3 men, 2 women, 17 to 25 years old. A teen arrested for the shooting. Boy, that was a close call, Green Wave fans. Willie Fritz, I thought, was headed to Atlanta. Instead, they're hiring the interim head coach, and Willie Fritz staying at Tulane. That is so big for the Green Wave. It's not even funny. Living right, I don't know what to say. Very fortunate. Thank goodness. You couldn't blame Willie Fritz for going to Georgia Tech, the ACC, Atlanta. Bigger conference, Power 5, bigger teams, bigger stadiums, better schedule, all of that. But he's not. He's staying put. He's staying at Tulane. That is beyond fantastic news. That means Tulane keeps winning. Tulane has a viable football program. That the university somewhat, but I mean, the university's limited. There's 7,000, 8,000 students at Tulane. The city of New Orleans has sort of let Tulane down. I mean, it's 30,000 seat Yeoman Stadium. It's not 50,000 seats like Georgia Tech, Bobby Dodd, right on the interstate in Atlanta. I think it's about 55,000 at that stadium, maybe a little more. It's 30,000 seats. You put 25,000 at Yeoman, and it is a great college football atmosphere, environment. And we have trouble, New Orleans, doing that. It's not Tulane's fault. It's not Tulane's fault. It's the city of New Orleans' fault. World Cup Soccer, USA 1, Iran 0. The United States advancing to the knockout rounds. Sweet 16, the United States taking on the Netherlands Saturday, 9 in the morning. This Saturday at 9 a.m. This Saturday afternoon at 3, it's carpal tunnel syndrome city. 3 o'clock, Saturday afternoon. Both of these games are on major network television, nationally televised. Number 11, LSU. Number 1, Georgia. SEC title game from Atlanta on CBS. Also at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Number 18, Tulane. Number 22, Central Florida. American Athletic title game. Uptown New Orleans, ABC. Gotta love that. LSU, Georgia from Atlanta for the SEC championship on CBS. Tulane and Central Florida for the American Athletic title from Uptown New Orleans on ABC. Both at 3 o'clock. Yeah, you right. Carpal tunnel syndrome. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, Smoothie King Center, 7 o'clock tip-off. 11-9 Toronto, 12-8 Pelicans. 50 years ago today, the Rault Center fire, 15th floor, I believe a beauty salon, these women jumping to their death. It was sickening. Traumatized me as a 6-year-old watching that. 6 die, 5 that jumped, 1 from smoke inhalation. That was 50 years ago today. A month later, Mark Essex taking the city hostage, Howard Johnson sniper. 6 die, 5 jump at the Rault Center. Mark Essex, he kills 9, injures 12 more. 6 months later, the summer of 73, 32 die, 15 injured. What was that incident? Give me the answer. I got 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 504-766-9480. You'll be heading to the Woodhouse Day Spa, the city's premier day spa experience. With holiday season coming up, it's a no-brainer, guys. She wants a day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Christmas holiday present problem solved. Hey, the Lamarck Automotive Complex, go pick her up a Ford or a Lincoln vehicle. Put the red bow on the roof. They'll tighten you up at Lamarck Ford or Lamarck Lincoln with the red bow, I promise you. The Lamarck Automotive Complex on the car corner, Williams Boulevard at I-10 in Kennebrah, right on the corner, right on the price. And now across the parish, going from the lake to the river, now Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood on Jefferson Highway. Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Harahan, and the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. And now, Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park, a Ford dealership on the lake, a Ford dealership on the river. He just does not stop. Doesn't stop. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. I think Georgia Tech had a lot of politics, some boosters. Some were against Willie Fritz. You don't have a winning record at Tulane. You're hiring a Tulane coach, all this stuff. He's older. You're going to have to go backwards, erase what we've done, and start over again, rebuild with a new coach, new philosophy. So there was pressure to keep the interim coach who went like 4-4 after a 1-3 start. And the interim coach might be the answer, and the interim coach might not be the answer. When I think of interim coaches, I think of LSU keeping Mike Archer, and then Florida hiring the coach LSU was trying to hire, Steve Spurrier. We know how that went down. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Hey, if you're checking us out on television, Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333, you might want to go to our YouTube channel because we say adios to our TV audience every weekday afternoon at 5:30. And in 5 seconds, it's 5:30, like right now. See you tomorrow. Radio audience, YouTube, live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. We go till 6 p.m. every weekday afternoon. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM from 4 to 6. CoreyTalks.com live streaming 4 to 6. We're on YouTube each and every day, 4 to 6 o'clock. A lot going on today. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. You go to a Pelicans game, you pay to park in a lighted lot, you come back out, your car and a bunch of others are broken into, windows shattered. It's beyond disheartening. Makes you want to stay away from the city. 4 carjackings in 6 hours, all today. 3400 block of Esplanade, that's right by Cabrini High School. Chapatulas at Bordeaux, that's right by F&M's Bar, by Hanson's Snow Blizz, the snowball stand. 1000 block of North Peter, that's French Market, French Quarter. 700 block of South Cortez, that's right there, Tulane Avenue, few blocks off Carrollton, few blocks off Doc Francis Parkway. Cortez almost runs directly in between Doc Francis Parkway and Carrollton. Same way, off Tulane Avenue. 4 carjackings in 6 hours. It's beyond obnoxious. It's beyond brazen. The NOPD arrests a teen accused of shooting 5 people on Bourbon Street late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Yeah, close call, Tulane Green Wave fans, with Willie Fritz. Georgia Tech hiring from within. The interim head coach is now the full-time head coach. Willie Fritz, and Tulane making an announcement he's staying put. I would think about $1 million more bucks of cash coming out of the Green Wave's pocket, and it's worth it. Before Willie Fritz, Tulane was never on ESPN or ESPN2. Was there ever a Green Wave game? I mean, outside of like some lame bowl they went to where Tulane was on ESPN or ESPN2. Willie Fritz comes along, they're on ESPN. They're on ESPN2 at 6 p.m. at 6:30, prime time. They're on ABC. They're on ABC again. I mean, nationally televised games. Tulane, New Orleans. It is invaluable, that free advertising. You win, you get that. You don't, you're the old Tulane, you're just floundering around, doping around. No, that was gigantic. Willie Fritz sticking around, winning coach. Tulane's 10-2. They're 18th ranked. They win Saturday at 3 o'clock. They take the American Athletic title against Central Florida, a team they lost to 38-31 like 3 weeks ago in Uptown. That Parmalee kid, their quarterback, just went off. I would think Willie Fritz and Tulane's going to have a different game plan. They're going to be ready for Central Florida. I'm not trying to be biased. I want Tulane to win, but I wouldn't want to be Central Florida in this rematch. Central Florida's like, damn, we got to do it again. Tulane's like, we get a little revenge, and we know we can beat them. Tulane's favored by 3.5. You get 3 points for home field. So on a neutral field, the odds makers kind of like the Wave by maybe half a point, squeaking out a victory. They get to 11-2 with a win on Saturday. They're going to Dallas and the Cotton Bowl. I mean, you could say New Year's Day Bowl. I think it's January 2nd now, the Cotton Bowl. Hell, the Sugar Bowl this year is December 31st at 11 in the morning. The Sugar Bowl in New Orleans is at 11 in the morning on December 31st, not New Year's night. Tuesday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now in Mid-City? Getting dinner at Katie's, sitting at the bar, talking with a bunch of New Orleans characters. You know, they got lunch and dinner at Katie's. They're open throughout the day. Throughout the day, folks just trickling in and out, getting food, characters winding down their day, plopping down at the bar, telling their stories. Now, it's kind of a homey place for Creole, New Orleans, Italian type food. And you know that Scott Craig philosophy at Katie's, more is better, more of the good things. Yes, New Orleans as it gets. The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? So good. Katie's in Mid-City. About 78 degrees right now. 80-something% humidity. Feels like 80-something degrees. December 1st is Thursday. What's up with this late November, early December? We're sweating outside. The ground is sweating. It's so humid. Rain expected overnight, by the way. So if you're going to drop the coals or boil the seafood, you better get at it quick. Corey Johnson with you. I got a couple of $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. 50 years ago today, the Rault Center fire. About a month after that, Mark Essex, Howard Johnson sniper. 6 months after that, 32 more people die, 15 injured. Give me the answer to that event, and I've got $50 for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. Tulane has had 3 coaches in the last 50 years that had some sustained success. I think all 3, I want to say, won 9 games, and then all 3 took off for greener pastures, bigger programs, more money. Were hired away from Tulane. 3 winning coaches in 50 years. Name me those 3 coaches. I got $50 for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 4 area locations, Mandeville, a 5th location coming online early 2023. Guys, holiday season. What do I get her? Is she going to like it? What do you get her? A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Is she going to like it? She's going to love it. It's what she wants. Problem solved. I mean, year in, year out, these gift-giving times pop up and you just stress out. Woodhouse Day Spa. Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com. A full slate. We got $50 Woodhouse Day Spa certificates to give away. And a lot to discuss. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. You go to a Pelicans game, you pay to park at a private lighted lot. You come back out after your car window's broken into. 766-9480. 4 carjackings in 6 hours today in New Orleans. 4 carjackings in 6 hours. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. The NOPD arrests a teen accused of shooting those 5 folks on Bourbon Street late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, 2 a.m. 766-9480. Willie Fritz staying at Tulane. USA 1-0 over Iran. They'll play the Netherlands Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Saturday afternoon at 3, LSU SEC title game, Atlanta. Saturday afternoon at 3, Tulane American Athletic title game, Uptown New Orleans. LSU Georgia will be on CBS. Tulane Central Florida will be on ABC. Both at 3 p.m. Saturday. Yeah, you right. Tomorrow night, the Pels back in action. Smoothie King Center, 7 o'clock. 11-9 Toronto. 12-8 Pelicans going at it. You know, when we get these rainy days, when we get those rainy days, that's when you go to a physical helm paint and decorating location. When it's raining, You go to Helm Paint and Decorating, you get all your supplies, you pick your colors, you get all the stuff you need. And then, the next day, the day after, it's going to be perfect painting weather. You get your crew out there and you knock it out. Use a Benjamin Moore product. You never, ever paint again. Helm Paint and Decorating, 7 locations, free 2-hour delivery, a no-brainer. Helm Paint and Decorating. Let's go to the North Shore. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Jared joins us in Slidell. What's happening, Jared?
It's actually Jerry. But
Jerry.
Yes. I want to answer the question with Tulane coaches.
How would you know that answer, Jerry?
Well, I'm 43 years old, and I've been to every Tulane game since I was about 3 years old. But I knew 2 of them, and I was riding home with my dad, and he gave me the other one that I didn't know.
The one from the late 70s.
Yeah.
All right. Who was the one from the late 70s?
Larry Smith.
Yep, Larry Smith had really good success. Where did Larry Smith go? Arizona State or something like that?
I think my dad told me he thought it was a California school.
No, I mean, I think he eventually ended up at USC.
Yeah, that's where my dad thought he went.
Yeah,
USC.
no, I think your dad's right, but let me see. Larry Smith, I thought he went to Arizona State or something like that first. Let's see. Larry Smith, Tulane, Arizona, USC, and Missouri.
Okay.
All right. So Larry Smith, yeah, he had success. Rock Hannes, Reggie Reginelli, Alton Alexis. They lost to Penn State in the Liberty Bowl like 9-6. It was raining. Tulane had a great offense. They would have kicked Penn State's rear end in the Liberty Bowl if it wasn't raining. Anyway, all right, that's number one. A few years later in the 80s.
Mac Brown.
Mac Brown headed over where? Texas, right?
Texas, yeah.
Yep. All right, you're 2-0.
Tommy Bowden went to Clemson.
There you go. That was the last one about a dozen years later, 98.
What do we have for her, Johnny?
Larry Smith, Mac Brown, Tommy Bowden. Excellent work, Jerry, with the assist from the old man.
Yes, definitely.
Yep. Good job, Jerry and Slidell. Hang on, all right?
All right.
Going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. In the last 50 years, Tulane's had like 3 coaches that have left for greener pastures, bigger program, got hired away. Larry Smith, Mac Brown, Tommy Bowden. Excellent work, Jerry in Slidell. Jason's going to get some info from you and tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. I always tell you Fury's Restaurant is open till 9 p.m., because a lot of places, especially in Metairie, 8:30, they're shutting down. Fury's is open till 9. You roll in there at 8:45. You can get onion rings, turtle soup, gumbo, speckled trout, snapper, flounder, fresh local seafood. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie is open till 9 p.m. tonight.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLA.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLA.com, your cool spot.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benjamin exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard.
Go check it out. If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
For years, you've been hearing about the virtues of Springfield Wellness Center and their successful treatment of over 1,000 individuals who overcame their substance addiction. Now it's your turn. Here's Springfield's Dr. Richard Metier.
For over 20 years, we've successfully treated patients with substance abuse issues and have also had success with patients suffering from chronic stress, depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. We uniquely address restorative issues at the cellular level that impact mental health. We treat our patients with an intravenous nutritional supplement that helps restore various brain functions. Most of our patients have greatly reduced withdrawal symptoms. We work toward maximizing nutritional interventions while utilizing traditional medication interventions when needed. Our treatment works toward restoring the brain's health while returning the patient to a normal, dependent-free life.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center now, 504-291-2800. That's 291-2800.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
This is what Drew Brees thinks about Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Actually, Brees doesn't think at all about Super Discount Store, but they do have the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law for beer, alcohol, and wine. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Super Discount Store!
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home. You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
I bet his smells like sandalwood.
Corey Johnson.
He's absolutely magnificent.
Gotta keep this up till 6. Wow. Yes. Till 6 o'clock every weekday, 4 to 6 p.m., telling it like it is, New Orleans, like no other talk radio show. Don't have any whacked agenda. Don't have to worry about the boss coming in and you're not discussing that topic. Don't have to worry about some sales team coming in and complaining about something I said and you're alienating sales, some client. If you are going to talk the talk, you got to be prepared to walk the walk. You're going to sit in front of a camera, a microphone. There is a responsibility that comes with that. You better be prepared. You better know what you're talking about. You better come from something, from somewhere that folks can see what you're about. There better be consistency. And you better be prepared where some folks aren't going to like what you say. And maybe the hardworking sales staff that went out and nurtured this client and prepared the advertising and came up with the campaign. We're running the commercials, and that client gets a bunch of calls from people listening going, did you hear what Corey said? I'm not coming to your restaurant anymore. I'm not coming to Young's to get my dry cleaning. It's happened before. It's happened before. And I've never lost a client directly by that, but I'm thinking back over 30 years, maybe I've lost one or two 3 months later where they were like on the fence, like, well, those people were calling and complaining. And maybe those clients just didn't get how it works or didn't want to be connected with me. I've never had anyone directly tell me that, but I've had at least 6, 8, or 10 go, Corey, been getting a lot of complaints. A lot of folks calling about what you said, blah, blah, blah. By the way, they'll be back. We're not going anywhere. We love what you do. That's over and over and over and over again. It may rest in peace, but I'll never forget Rush Limbaugh when he said some caustic stuff. You talk the talk, you walk the walk. Be prepared to deal with it. And a bunch of Americans got together as a group and said, we're going to boycott Procter & Gamble products or this or that. And a bunch of advertisers pulled their products off of Rush Limbaugh's show. And he complained about it. He cried about it. Un-American. No. The epitome of America. Free speech at its greatest on both sides. You being allowed to say what you want and no one yanking you off the air. And these people saying, we don't like it. And threatening advertisers like they've threatened advertisers and clients over things I've said. That's just how it is. You don't cry and complain about it. They're against you. They're putting pressure on the advertiser. You say what you say. What happens, happens. It's beyond your control. That's what I love about talk radio and talk TV in general. I've got an opinion. I got to take a caller, calls in. We go back and forth. One of us is right. One of us is wrong. We're both right. We're both wrong. Whatever. Everybody out there, you're the judge and jury. Folks listening, the folks watching, they're the ones making the decision. It's not me. I don't control it. It's not the caller. That's the great thing. It's all out there for everyone to see, not hiding anything. That's always how I've done talk radio. That's why we don't screen calls. We don't cut callers off. Don't have any agendas. No, I've worked for many radio stations, many different bosses, and I've worked for some that are very qualified, that have taught me a lot, that had what's best for the radio station, the program, and me, and getting ratings and getting advertisers and sustaining it. I love those folks. I love critiques and criticisms and suggestions and opinions from folks that are agendaless except for success, for winning. But I've also been with folks that, it's a weird business, this talent, these radio, TV personalities with weird egos, all kind of strange stuff with programming people that get jealous or vindictive or have an agenda or want to control or stop somebody, or we don't want you saying that, or that I've had those folks too. And thank God I've been in a powerful enough position where I've, ignored them. Literally. I've had a boss come into the studio, yell at me during a break, and I'm like, I'm an adult. Yelling at me is not helping. Telling me what to say, storming out, and right when we come back, them staring at me through the glass, I'm saying exactly the opposite of what they said. And they're like literally pulling their hair out See me after the show in my office. Great. See you after the show after the office. See you before the show after the office. In the office. Irrelevant. If you care, you're legit, and you're out for the station, for me, for the show to succeed. I am all in. If you got some wacky, crazy agenda and you have no idea what you're talking about, screw you. I'm not paying attention to you at all. Fire me. Which never happened. Just a lot of dog barking and no bite. I guess I've been let go from radio stations before. I guess I've been let go. I've carried out the cardboard box with all my stuff, and I've come into a radio station watching someone snarl at me carrying the cardboard box out because I was taking their gig. So, I've seen both sides of it. But never fired because the boss with the agenda told me how to do the show and I ignored him and did it my way. Never fired for that, ever. It's kind of funny how that works. The bosses with the agendas kind of know they're messed up. They have a weird agenda. They better not fire this guy. It's 85 degrees right now. Feels like 85. You're definitely running air conditioning. And they're going to have a little Coolio front roll in the next few days, and you'll be running heat. And in between that, you probably won't have the unit on at all. Air conditioning and heating experts, I got them for you. River City's Total Maintenance. Honest. Air conditioning and heating experts that come right when you need them. Every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. You can find those air conditioning and heating experts online, NOLAAC.com, NOLAAC.com.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City. You're listening to The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. What's wrong with you?
I immediately regret this decision.
Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Hey, if you like your dry cleaner, I guess stick with them. But if you don't like your dry cleaner or you just want to experience the best, And there is a best in New Orleans. They've been around since 1940, over 80 years. It's a New Orleans institution, literally. It's Young's Dry Cleaning. Talk to people that know Young's. They'll tell you. Dale and Don, fourth generation, taking care of you. Find out more, youngsdrycleaning.com. youngsdrycleaning.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Weird weather day, kind of hot out there. Willie Fritz staying put. Good news, New Orleans. Willie Fritz not going anywhere. That's huge. That's gigantic. Willie Fritz was, it seemed like Georgia Tech bound. But Willie Fritz staying put on Willow Street. Huge for Tulane. What's that, Blue Boy? Some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian can be found at Fausto's Italian Bistro, and they're open right now for dinner till 9 p.m. Fausto's Italian Bistro and Vets. Good suggestion, buddy. 93.9 FM New Orleans. Mañana.